o'clock. Let's call the meeting to order. Do we have any public with us tonight?
Not that I can see.
No? Okay. The minutes from the previous meeting, does anybody have a correction or anything they'd like to change?
No, I'll accept the minutes for the last meeting.
Yeah, I will too. Susanna, you have to accept them, right? Because you wrote them.
Yes. So can I say Kid move to accept them and Sue you seconded?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. President's report? No, I don't really have a report. I had a question for April and I asked her before the meeting started, so I don't have a report today.
Okay,
The financial reports, first of all, the expenditure and revenue reports for September.
I'll move to accept it.
I'll second.
Okay. And secondly, the abstract of claims dated October 14th to November 10th. Are there any questions or comments about that?
No.
I emailed that to everyone and I have it actually in an open tab if you want to bring it up.
I actually printed it
Okay.
because anyways I'm gonna have to sign it.
I know.
So,
Okay. For those who didn't open it, it's $83,346.12. Pretty standard stuff. There is the we had 2 dumpsters. It's like we added a room, right?
Yeah, really.
A really inexpensive addition. So it was really cleansing. It really was. So otherwise it was, normal stuff.
All right, I'll accept. What is it? What is it? That we're
That
accepting?
was the abstract of claims.
Yeah, I'll accept the abstract.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
second.
okay,
Okay. Anything else for finance? Shar, are we all set?
Yes, we're all set. There's nothing major going on except for our audit, which is in the process. So you'll see that hopefully in the next month or two.
Okay.
So maybe the next meeting will, I don't know if it'll be resolved that quickly, but we'll invite him like we did last time. Seemed to
Yeah.
work out.
Yep.
Okay, good.
All right, so I went back to the old format because I actually could put things under the categories while we were shut down for COVID. It seemed like I didn't have anything to say that under different categories. So I went back. I did to provide the community with access to books, movies, that goal 1. I participated in a Zoom meeting for teaching books, and Jamie also attended with me because Jamie's attending this collection development, making sure it's diversified and that sort of thing. And I should know who's sponsoring that program, but I can't. Maybe it's in here later. That Jamie's doing that. It'll come up. But anyway, she came across this this link to teaching books. And I said, oh my goodness, teaching books. I haven't heard of that in a while. It was a database, an online database that they use in schools. And when I was a school library system director, that was something we purchased for all, I wonder if that's Sally. No, it's just my daughter. She can make. So it was something we purchased for all school districts in New York State. And Nicholas Glass was the founder. It was like his thesis or something to do with his graduate work. He wanted everybody to be able to go to a story time. And so he started to record them and have them available in places. And anyway, he's still affiliated. And I signed up and he called me within a few minutes. And it's really exciting. He's expanded it considerably. And we've purchased it to use this year anyway, because there's the story time with the snowy day. I clicked on that. It was it was read by someone, it was done in American Sign Language, and there was music added, and it had these lessons that went with it. And I thought, wow, if we're going to do virtual storytelling, I can't beat that. I can't beat that. I'm so excited. And we haven't figured it all out yet. And you've seen some things in your email that you get into it and play with it. If you're excited about it, then that's great. If you're not, then that's okay too. All right. We did attend, there were 4 of us that attended NYLA virtually. We still have on-demand programming we can go to. We even ordered lunch in because, you know, that's what you do at a conference, you eat. So it was kind of fun to do something a little almost normal. Oh my gosh, stop, Sally. Sally's joining us, hold on. Hello, Sally.
While I'm on this Chrome video and I don't see anybody else on there. So
Sad. Well, you're here. They can hear you. So I have my phone right here, and they can hear you on. So just follow along. We approved the minutes, and
what happened to the Chrome? Why couldn't I get on there?
Did you use the email that I forwarded with the board packet? It's what's it called, Mark? It's Northland Communications. It's their software. So
Max.
You would have had to follow the link that I sent. Actually, even last month would have been fine too. But it's that link, not the original that we did a long time ago. Okay, we are happy. Are we happy? Everyone?
Yes.
They are shaking their head. They're happy you're here on the call. Pat's on a call too. Same. It's all good. All right. So we had NYLA, and we have some things that are pre-recorded. The technology, I'm always putting Mark Volts to work here. We were discussing possibly switching out our self-checkout, but our current self-checkout had a warranty, so we just had it fixed. So that was good. And we're toying with the idea, do we need to upgrade to a touchless one? You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, it would be great. But at some point you have to put your password or your PIN in. So I'm not sure how you do that without touching anything. But our current one works, so we're happy. Let's see. I did, you know, some of these webinars, after a while you go, yeah, I've been to this similar, just by somebody else. So there was a COVID one. And so I did go to that, and I don't think I learned much more than I knew already. It just, you know, wear a mask, wash your hands, that kind of thing, use hand sanitizer. Then our architect came and they measured, and so they've made CAD drawings of our building. That's exciting, and that is something we should probably discuss also. I know that 3 of you are here, and Pat, of course, you would definitely be welcome. We went on that tour, so I know that Susanna and Sally were doing the tour of the libraries. So they want us to set up a virtual meeting with some staff. I asked Christina to kind of join that group, and then Rosemary was with us before, so Herm and I. And then Susanna, the lady that went with us, I don't remember her name, but maybe she'd like to join us for that. So I'll email you guys about setting up a meeting on what's next, right? What's brainstorming, or to see the drawings they did. Okay, the carpet installation was done in the Children's Amphitheater, which is kind of wow, that was interesting to watch because it's curves. What a nightmare, right? And so they glued it and they pushed it and they had to cut, and it looks really good. So I'm excited. So Herm and Mark filled the 2 dumpsters. I talked about that earlier when we talked about the what we purchased this month. And so the basement and the garage, and so we've made space by doing that. I met with Kim regarding youth programming and youth volunteers and their involvement. We've been involved in sustainable libraries. Like when we purchase things, we keep in mind that it's kind of the right thing to do, but there is an actual database that we can plug all this stuff into. And a couple years ago, we had an intern from a college in Vermont name's escaping me right this minute, but he was great, and he helped us. It was 200 hours. I mean, 200 hours of a college student helping you. So I thought, well, we might as well sign up, and it's like Bennington College or something like that, and see if we can get an intern to help us enter that data in a database. So since she's a YA person, you know, you're a YA person in college too. And she helped me with a pandemic policy. So we kind of have a draft for that. We haven't done any details of the pandemic policy. I met with Janae to talk to her about, Mark actually set up a book club. Uh-oh, did we lose her? We set up a book club that was, I think we lost Sally, but we still have the three of us. She might call back. There she is. Hello, Sally.
I must have touched something and all of a sudden you're not talking.
I know. I was like, well, she's gone. She'll be back. And you are. Okay. So I met with Janae about her virtual book club. She's not too thrilled about doing the virtual book club, but she's a team player. So we're gonna try to do that, get that started, and do that virtually. We were trying to figure out how to do it in the community room, which we can still do, but I heard feedback from some of the people in her book club, and they just soon joined from home. I thought, oh, I never would have thought that, but I'm not never, but somebody who actually was in the building and I see her a lot. She said, no, I'll join from home. I go, okay. All right. So, and this was big. The book sale, the donations, you know, we were dreading this. That was Janae and Jamie and Christina met, tried to come up with guidelines, and they did. And then Pat's involved, not this Pat, but Pat, oh dear, Pat, who's in information?
Gazzardo.
Thank you, Pat Gazzardo. And then Connie also, they're going to be helping. And just about everybody seems to be helping, which is nice. And our volunteers aren't really back, but sometimes they pop in. But the book sales started, and Shar even told me more money is coming in, probably because there's new books, right? So it's we are taking donations right now because the room is full. So we will continue, but we have to let them move through. They're in quarantine like the rest of things are. They're in a 6-day quarantine, and they move along, and they're labeled just like our regular books that we own, and it's working. It's a process, but I think it was very annoying, but I think now that they're kind of on the other side of it, they're good. Let's see. And we talked about the R4K, ready for kindergarten. We've been part of this since I remember them meeting upstairs in the boardroom where Shar, Mark and I have an office up there in that room. I remember that room being full of people from the Literacy Coalition that were thinking of how do we record or have this baseline of how students are doing. And so how is it that they're on the fourth, do they do well on the fourth? It's like is that Scott? Hi, Scott.
Yes, I finally am sorry. I was late because my previous meeting ran over, and I've been just having a devil of a time trying to join. I think you sent me some advice on how to do this, and I was having trouble finding it, so here I am.
Good. Well, you're here. We're moving along. We've accepted the financial reports and the minutes, and now I'm in the middle of my director's report, and so
okay,
we'll keep it moving along. So anyway, the Literacy Coalition is that part of it is doing well. We have a youth coat drive going on. I think it's the VFW. I was going to go back and look, and I left it in this way. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, of Utica. And I think we're also going to have, that'll be on next month's report, but Jamie is involved with the Girl Scouts, and they're going to do a coat drive, I think the Saturday after Thanksgiving. But it's just Sunday, and they're going to just use the parking lot and maybe the foyer, and I think that's cool. Yes, Pat?
April. What about the coat drive? When is it? Because I have,
There is currently a coat drive going on. I don't know for how long with the VFW, but there will be one the Saturday after Thanksgiving. The Girl Scout, or Sunday, sorry, the Sunday after Thanksgiving. The
where?
Girl Scouts are going to be doing it in the new parking lot at the library.
Oh, at the library?
Yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
could have, when Jamie lets me know, or I could let her know that you want an email or something. I don't know.
Okay, good, thank you.
For children and adults,
I-
or just children?
You know, I'm not positive. I know, I'm pretty sure it's just children's that's
Oh,
going on
just
right
children?
now.
Oh. okay.
But the one that the Girl Scouts are doing may be anyone. I will ask
Yeah.
Jamie for information. Right, all ages, question mark? All right. Okay, Shar, you're gonna remind me of that too. I have it on my notes. All right, we have Mid-York Directors Reports every Wednesday rather than doing that individually. I just threw it this. We aren't having one tomorrow because most of us are closed.
Veterans Day.
Right, and then CLRC, we had a board meeting in October, and there was the changing of the officers. So I'm no longer president, and not that I shouldn't be so excited about that. It was an honor to serve. Let's see. Oh, Shar and I met lots of times about different things. Just the staff pay schedule. It's just always been ongoing, same old, but we're going to try to find some comparable job titles, even if, you know, for example, Shar's is principal clerk. Well, what does that mean? And we can look at the job description, and there might be other job titles in civil service that are similar. What does a library assistant make, like across the county or the state? How is it, you know, similar with the size of the budget and that? How are we doing? Are we in line? We need to look at that again, because there isn't a formal salary schedule, and is it getting really out of whack with the increases in minimum wage? So that was kind of what that was about. And Kathy and Teresa, we were talking about that because there's not really a longevity amount, even if it's 5 cents an hour. So all the same discussion, and we'll report out with you on that once we learn something more. And then Library Leadership Your Way, it was a 1-hour webinar that I went to, and it was good. You know, kind of reminds you to step back and look at things sometimes. And then not on here, Nyla's not on here. I knew it was coming up. And that was really, it was fun, because I thought, oh, virtual, it'll be weird, but it was good. That's it for the most part. Did I?
Okay.
Any questions?
Do we have old business?
I don't think so.
I just have a question. Were you able to contact Confidata about the shredding?
Yes. Okay, we're going to do, it's $100 an hour, and we are going to sign up for 3 hours, and it's in May. We're going to do that. So I think it was May 15th that Dennis did. It could have to do with maybe they're not doing anything right now, or they were doing it outside.
Maybe.
We are
that's good. That's good. That'll be, and if we kind of let people know ahead of time, you know, on the website and in the library, then I'm sure, you know, it'll be worthwhile. We'll get a lot of people.
Right. He just finished it, like either yesterday or today. And there were some other things that we're going to do a Social Security workshop, and that's online. AARP is doing all their things online. So we can help them publicize it, but it's not inside. And we also, just maybe as an extension to the report, CLRC, I had a meeting today, and Onondaga County is in, I don't know if they're yellow zone.
Oh, I heard about that.
Whatever. So we were talking about that. What does that mean? Even our pandemic policy, I mean, that's just an overarching thing, but what are we going to do if say school closes, does that mean we go back to curbside? I haven't figured that out yet either. I guess I want to throw that out that I'll make that decision. I don't know. I mean, we kind of have to, we don't know. Like it was July and we had curbside and they were closed anyway because it was summer. So
Yeah,
I don't know. And then maybe again, we won't have any choices either. Hopefully the Mohawk Valley is like one of the safest places to live in the country. Still, so I'm excited. Maybe we keep being safe about everything and keep our infection rate in this region low. I know Allison, my daughter Allison, the nurse, she's, they're definitely getting COVID patients now, and they were not even there for a while. So it's coming back, but may it stay under control. And I don't know if that's old business. Stop talking.
we'll see what happens after Thanksgiving.
Well, right. All right. And then I just had this because I believe last year the Whitesboro Fire Department asked, they're doing their annual campaign. And I believe last year we did a donation. It would have been prudent for me to look up how much. Do you remember, Shar, how much?
I'm pretty sure it was 50.
I think, you know what? That's what I wanted to say, but I didn't want to guess. Okay. So I'm throwing that out there. There was a request. The library out of operating budget cannot make this donation. So if you as a board want to make a donation from the Dunham account, I believe is how we would have to do that if you wanted to donate to the fire department.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I do too.
Yes, I recall that that was the route that we took last time, and I think that that's the neighborly thing to do.
Right.
Because they would come. They would come and help us.
Absolutely.
Well, either way, but.
Okay, so is that a formal, like, somebody's gonna make that and then second?
I will move that we donate to the Whitesboro Fire Department and take the money from the Dunham Fund.
Okay,
And I will second that.
thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else under new business?
I can confirm it was $50 last year.
It was $50, I remember.
That seems like it would have been the right
Yeah.
amount.
Yep.
Okay, we ready for announcements? Are there any announcements?
Not that I know of.
Communications?
Before we end, I want to bring something up. I reminded April today, I had mentioned it to her before. I believe my tenure is up next September and I will not run again. So we need to start looking for someone to replace me.
I'm sorry that you're not going to run again.
Okay. So I just wanted to let you guys know so that we can start looking for somebody.
Sure.
Okay. Do you think that the
That's all.
person that came on the library tours with
I
you
will
would?
talk to her. I sent you an email.
Oh, okay, I haven't looked back. Okay.
Yeah, but I doubt it. She had a stroke last winter and she is fine. But her family is absolutely paranoid about her getting COVID.
Oh,
She's really
Oh.
not doing much of anything. So I
Right.
really
Sally
doubt
said her
it's
children
gonna
also.
do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a real concern. I mean,
At one point she was interested, but
Okay.
I think that now it's not going to be the case.
okay.
But I will have her because she's still doing her book club, like we do our meeting, you know.
Okay. Well, maybe she'll still
I will
participate.
tell her to mention it again to her book club
Oh, that's a good idea, yeah.
See if any of them are interested.
Okay. Nice.
When is your term up?
September. But I would have to
You
run,
mean next September, right?
Correct. She'd have to run in
Correct.
May.
I would have to run in May, right?
Oh, you have to run in this May coming up?
Correct.
Right.
Oh, okay, because I know someone that was interested in it.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Trustee petitions will be out in March.
March.
Yes.
So they can pick it up at the library?
Yes. And
What is her name?
we do a news release to the OD that there will be an open position as well.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Right.
Actually, we'll talk later on email. You sent me an email, so we.
Yeah.
April, I have
Anyways,
a
I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. I know I had mentioned it to April, but I thought I should mention it to
Is that an
everybody.
announcement or a communication?
no, I just wanted to ask,
That's an off the record.
I wanted to ask a question.
Okay.
How are the attendants coming into, into the library?
I have our stats, I mean, compared to last year, not, obviously, but we have, the people coming through. I can tell you, like, our highest day of circulation was 350 items went out. So, there's people.
Yeah. What about programs? When I noticed the programs, were they all virtual? The
They
programs?
are. Well, yes, we don't, yes, I'm trying to think about if we've really had a program besides our board meetings.
Because
And
quite a few
we're going
people-
to start in November, doing virtual. I know, people that do programs aren't doing them.
Yeah.
AARP, they're not doing anything until January. And I really think it's interesting enough with the contagion rate going up to have people in the building.
Mhm.
So most libraries, I don't even think Utica and Rome are open. I don't think they even have people in the building coming in. They have curbside, but
Mhm.
we're not really ready for, we have tutors, tutors are coming in,
Yeah.
working with students, but we don't have in
Right.
the library programming going on.
Mm.
So Janae and I are,
But
Janae mostly is going to start the book club.
excuse me, April, has there been any progress on the possibility of doing like Zoom programs or remote programs
Yes.
via the library?
We are, well, Zoom had this thing that looked like they had free programming along with programming that was paid for. And so Dennis put it up and I looked, I said, oh, what's free? Well, nothing was free. And I said, well, no, this wasn't our intention to be an advertisement for Zoom. Janae's book club is going to go online. We're going to do a virtual program at the end of November. And Kim is going to start a YA book club also, or just continue on the program that we had. We have a Social Security program that is going to be a virtual program. And I have just recently, Jamie and I came across Teaching Books, which is an online database for children's youth services resources. It's all the way to YA. And apparently there's a few adult programs on there. And they have, so we're going to start to collect email addresses and push it out. Or actually, we might do it on Facebook, because I did ask the person who's in charge of it. And I said, well, we'll have to have like a password protected. You don't want it just out there, do you? And he said, during COVID, we're not really worried about it. We can push it out, and our URL for whatever, it should just go out. So we're going to start to put together some virtual children's programming using Teaching Books. Jamie and I have a meeting Thursday to explain the database more. We had an initial one last week. And so we are going to start some, but they're probably, you know, not as many as we really want. It's interesting that library services seem to take longer to do. It's interesting that people used to do their own thing. They'd walk in, there would be a volunteer really who managed a program, and they all just filed in. We counted how many, and they filed out. We also, you know, we do have COVID issues. Like we had no one in our staff has had it, but there have been people that our staff's family have interacted with, thus causing someone to have to stay home and quarantine till we find out if the test for the person they've come in contact with comes back positive or negative. They've all been negative, but we've had 3 staff members who've been out because we need to wait to see if there's been infection. So we've been healthy, but it's still COVID's out there, you know, and it's in our community too. We've been very fortunate not to have it affect us directly. Yes.
They're able to get that test free?
Yes. Well, yes, everybody in New York's able to get the test free. Well, you have to go to free testing sites. And if you go to St. Luke's Hospital, they'll charge you for an emergency room visit. But if you go to urgent care or Well Now, then it's free. So they must have a contract with New York State or something. So, and I know, like, my husband had a COVID test because somebody in his school district. So, and I suppose, I didn't state because he wasn't really told he was affected, but somebody in the building was. He didn't think he had contact, but he wasn't feeling well. So we have these little issues going on too.
April?
Yes.
We do actually have a couple of, I guess you would say they're virtual programs in a way. Clay and adult crafts with Rosemary. They're using
Those are, yes, take home. Those are definitely part of the, those were the adult services report showed Rosemary's programming, and youth services report show, and there's quite a few people pick up those take home crafts that have been offered for a long time. Christina and Rosemary have been offering those pretty much since we've had curbside. So people are quite happy with those. So it's not as if we're not doing any programming. And we do have people coming in, you know, they're coming in, they're seeing people, and I think that's helpful. We see Sue. Yeah. So people are able to come in and get their books and do those kinds of things. And we're staying safe.
So April, the whole staff is working then, right? The whole
we
staff?
are, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And because things take longer, I mean, curbside takes longer than somebody coming in, right?
Yeah.
And people, and then there's all this record keeping. Okay, so-and-so's coming in, and we write down that so-and-so's here to use the computer. And then there's just cleaning up. You know, somebody uses a computer, somebody has to go to that computer, right, and they have to clean the keyboard and the mouse and the monitor. Somebody uses a table, then we have to go clean the table and the chairs and that sort of thing. Somebody checks out books. So all this stuff in between has to be cleaned also. So that all takes more time than it ever used to take.
Right.
And the quarantining, I mean, think about that. You know, you're making signs. You're saying, okay, this came in at such and such a date. And that whole process, and the process of the meetings with Mid-York, how many days? And we have to agree on the days. We have to agree that we quarantine in our own libraries. Then when it goes to Mid-York, then they know it's safe and what Mid-York does. And you have to secure the container and all the procedures that we're doing, which is necessary. But it's as if you've started a new job, and every single facet of what we do has changed, and there's a procedure that goes along with it, the safety procedure that's there. Look at just Shar alone. Now Shar's doing our health assessments, And people like me forget to do them. It's like, oh, you haven't done that today. So I get an email. It's like, oh, whoops, I forgot to fill out my health assessment. Yes, I took my temperature, but by the time I got upstairs, I didn't say, oh, no, I don't have any symptoms of COVID. So we have to go through that procedure. It's not, it's what it is, but it's time consuming.
Yeah.
So we're very, and then there's new, like, okay, we're doing this new software. So we have to learn the new software and figure out how we're going to push that out to people. And how are we getting, right, Dennis has, so, okay, we've got virtual programming. Well, that has to be set up. So Mark gets involved and he sets it up, and then we have to push it out, and we have to learn the procedures of people that teach the classes and what they can do and what their organizations let them do. Like the Girl Scouts aren't really coming because they can't, and because their organization says, no, you can't do that, or whatever. And so we're learning.
We all are.
Yeah. So that was a long answer, right? But yes, we are, but with restrictions. We're open with restrictions.
Okay. Do we have, has anyone from the public joined the meeting?
No.
No, okay. And we don't need an executive session. I think we can adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Pat? Is there a
I'll
second?
second.
All right.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next
Thank you.
meeting is December 8th.
December 8th. Okay.
Right. And
All
I
right.
want to say it's nice to see everybody, but I can only see some of you. It's nice to hear-
Yeah, I gotta figure out how to,
Yeah.
I gotta figure out how to make this view video thing work.
Well, you know, Mark is in the library on Mondays and Thursdays, so you can reach out to him. And he
April,
can.
you look,
Okay.
April, I gotta compliment you. You look very nice.
Oh,
Oh, your hair is something. You look different. Look
good.
very-
I
very
haven't.
pretty.
Oh, I have a yes.
Oh.
I've been wearing these headbands because I'm growing out my bangs.
Oh.
Well, good.
Yeah. Well, you look pretty.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
right,
you, everyone.
Thank you, and I will see you, next month, if not before. I'm gonna I'll reach out to all of you, and if you'd like to join with the architect, I assume that Sally, Sue, and Susanna would be part of that, but I shouldn't assume, we'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
who'd like to
Do
meet
you have to meet with
with
them?
the architect. Because I'll send it out to all 5 of you, so if you
Okay.
change your mind and
All
want
right,
to.
thank you.
It's a virtual meeting.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good night, everybody.
All right.
Good night. Bye-bye.
You too, Sally. Happy Thanksgiving, Sally said.
Yeah, happy
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.